I'm the Tramp.
And I'm the Stamp.
And this is
a TikTok video. I don't care about TikTok.
And I love TikTok, so I curate TikTok content specifically for Noah. And lately there's some TikTok drama that I've personally gotten very invested in, and so by extension he's had to get invested in it.
You have sent me so many videos.
Okay, so recently this band on TikTok has been getting a lot of views and people have started to take interest in them for a variety of reasons.
It's both good and bad. Some people think that this is a cool band with good music, and some people think it's the funniest thing since... Okay, the script says insert joke.
So they're they're called Tramp Stamps, and they make music.
It's definitely music, and they're at least partially responsible for the sounds and the accompanying video footage.
They've been marketing themselves as like an alternative DIY punk band.
Which is a thing that exists, but the Venn diagram between that and this band might not be a circle that overlaps very much.
We are going to put a disclaimer that we do not know the members of this band, and we do not know the specifics of their formation or of the production of any of this.
But we do know this.
Okay, so an industry plant is when a musical act has been specifically formulated and created to generate the most amount of money and get the highest reward for the lowest risk.
It's a lot like when a publisher seeks out like a right for hire situation where they have an idea of a book that they want published, so they go find an author they already know and have them specifically write that book, like Vampire Diaries and Gossip Girl. There's good and bad parts of this, in that some of these creators are very talented and the work that they make that then gets famous in this format is pretty good.
But on the flip side of that, you have other very talented people who are just waiting to get the chance to be signed to a major label and to have their music be distributed all over the world, and they're not going to get that chance because they hadn't already been signed. Basically, they take whoever is around that has any kind of talent, and then they will just put them into the mold of whatever is trendy and popular at that moment.
And right now, alternative style and comically off-point misandry is what's popular. We are not connecting these facts in any way. This is just good information for you, the consumer, to have when you go out into the world and hear music.
So Tramp Stamps is here to fill a niche in the music industry.
So the base facts as we know them are as follows. They are a band comprised of 3 women with matching dyed hair that was formed a little over a year ago. They garnered a respectable following of people that this kind of music appeals to. They so far have released 3 original songs, all with professional music videos, have signed with Prescription Songs, which gets stylized as RX, and have an EP due to drop next month. Some people might say that these pieces of evidence might come together and point at the fact that maybe they are not as genuine as they are pretending to be. Some people could say that.
And some people are saying that. Right now there's a very strong theory going around that they are industry plants.
And I don't think it matters specifically if they were created by the label or if they created it and went to the label for marketing. There's a vibe.
Yeah, either way there are some weird things happening and we would like to explain some of those things.
Yeah.
Let's start by talking about each of these 3 women who make up Tramp Stamps. First up,
the girl bosses themselves.
Yeah, the girl bosses themselves. First up is Marissa Mano. She is the lead singer and has purple hair. She started her career as a ballerina and moved to acting and singing after a knee injury forced her to quit dancing. Until recently, she's been working as a solo artist, singing what she describes as quirky pop. She has listed her...
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's cute. She has listed her inspirations as Hayley Williams, Beyonce, Rihanna, Fergie, and Katy Perry.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good list of people. She signed with Prescription Songs last summer. Here's what she looked like until she joined Tramp Stamps.
What an interesting list of facts that could mean nothing at all.
Next up is Caroline Barker, who most often goes by her stage name Carabae. She is the guitarist of the band and has pink hair. Honestly, from what I found while deep diving into this band, she seems pretty cool. She's been playing instruments since she was a kid, and she's been putting out EPs that she produced herself that have more of like a chill indie pop singer-songwriter vibe. She's been doing a lot of music during quarantine and stuff, and like I've liked a few of the songs that I've heard from her. She signed with Prescription Songs in December of 2019. She also appears to be the only member who had her colored hair before the band formed, but her style was still a lot different than her current one. Like she had a much more kind of faded out, like light pink, and she dressed a lot differently. And lastly, to round out the trio, is Paige Blue, the blue-haired drummer. She started drumming in, I believe, like middle school and got into music production in her early 20s. She and her husband moved to Nashville in like her early to mid 20s, and she started writing songs for other artists. She started out writing country songs and then moved on to pop songs. She has since been writing songs for pop artists, TV shows, and commercials. She's also in a band called All Talk, and listening to their music, it is very clear that she has this background. They're not bad songs, but listening to them does make me feel like I am inside of an ABC Family show, commercial breaks and all. It's music. Somebody likes it. Her songs are featured in a lot of commercials, and like, good for her, because that's where all the money is, so hashtag girlboss and all that. Here's what she looks like out of her Tramp Stamps costume.
So cool and interesting. I would like to give these women the benefit of the doubt, because they all seem to genuinely be dedicated artists who are working in their own specific areas.
Yeah, like, and they are all songwriters, and...
Yeah, there's definitely talent.
Yeah, like, definitely they were chosen for this for a reason, if they were chosen.
If.
Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Okay, so, let's take a look at their timeline as a band.
They supposedly formed in February of 2020.
The circumstances of their forming are somewhat unclear, as they have yet to give us a full story on how that happened. They've said a lot of very vague things in videos. Sometimes they say that they were all best friends beforehand and then decided to form the band. A lot of the time they say that they got drunk together in a bar and wrote a song together, and that was how they met/formed the band. It does seem like Caroline and Paige knew each other beforehand, because they have a few pictures on their Instagrams that I think were taken before the band formed.
The lack of details makes it very interesting.
Yeah, it's like, I think it is kind of weird that they haven't given any specifics, really. They also have a lot of TikToks of them reenacting their formation, which is a lot of them just shaking hands and suddenly being a band. And I'm sure that there was a lot of handshaking involved in their formation, so that all feels pretty accurate.
Get ready for the numbers. So despite forming in February 2020, they only formally announced themselves as a band in November of 2020, which is when they started advertising themselves on TikTok, mostly with covers of other songs. They do a cover of Blink-182 that is a cover for sure.
It sure is.
And a lot of Christmas songs that will not be making it on our Christmas playlist this year.
They won't.
The individual members have their own TikTok accounts, but lead singer Marissa Mano is the only one who really posts anything. And she started being active in February of 2021. Their first song, Sex With Me, had released at the very end of January, and she says in one of her first TikToks, "My manager said that if I don't make a TikTok, my music will never go viral." Another single, 1-800-MR-GUTS, came out on March 3rd of this year, and their most recent song, I'd Rather Die, came out a few days ago on April 14th, 2021, which is when they started getting attention from people outside of their very insular Twitter community. On the surface, this doesn't seem terrible. Like, they announce the band, they release a song, they start advertising. But with how long they were signed to Prescription before, the very rapid change in all of their style, the way that we have no idea how they met, it feels like these are very deliberate moves made to imitate the natural development of a band, not just things that are reflecting the growth of this band. The timing and the marketing strategies seem weird. And I can't blame them for being, like, smart about their timing and marketing strategies. That's very important anytime you would like anyone to listen to any song you've made. You gotta be smart. But it feels like more than that. On a side note, if Prescription Records sounds familiar, you might be remembering that it's the label Dr. Luke started in 2009, and if his name sounds familiar, you might be remembering the lawsuit from 2014, where he ruined Kesha's life. It's that guy. You remember that guy?
Yeah, it's that guy.
How much we hate that guy? It's that guy.
Uh-huh.
You know how he's the worst guy, and how it's very public knowledge that he's a scumbag who you shouldn't work with, especially if you're trying to build your whole brand off of making fun of bad sex men? He no longer runs the label. They're trying to market it as a by women for women thing, which, okay.
In itself would be fine.
But he's still involved with the individual artists, which doesn't feel very by women for women. And you have to question why any girl boss band would willingly affiliate themselves with this.
I would like to take a moment to talk about their aesthetic as a band. It's very clear that they are being styled as an alternative band. They're definitely trying to emulate the vibe of, like, a punk band or a riot girl band, and, like, using those aesthetics to market the music. They are all constantly sporting very brightly colored hair that never seems to fade, accompanied by dark roots that always seem to be at the exact same length on all of them. They are always dressed in very trendy clothes from Doll's Kill, a brand that many people in the alternative scene have chosen to boycott after the owner voiced support for the police shooting peaceful protesters at Black Lives Matter protests, and because of the many issues surrounding fast fashion in general. So, like, another thing that it feels a little bit weird for them to be using and supporting with the way that they are trying to market themselves. These clothes, whether they're leather pants and fishnets or trendy streetwear, never seem to look lived in and always look like they're being worn for the first time. Similarly, their makeup always looks kind of off, like they haven't really worn this type of makeup enough yet to have found the right way to apply it for them. If you look at their pictures from before the band formed, they all wore much more neutral colors, and then suddenly they've got hot pink eyeshadow and bright red lipstick, and it looks like somebody dressing up as a rock star for Halloween. It just always looks kind of awkward and weird.
It's sweet in a way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's kind of endearing sometimes. Like, when you try a new style out, it always takes a little while to figure out what works for you and kind of build up an aesthetic for yourself that you're comfortable in. And it never looks like they've done that. They always look very stiff and posed all the time. I think you can tell when somebody is wearing something that they're comfortable in, that's their usual style, and when they're wearing a costume. And personally, to me, these just feel very costumey.
In the past 5 seconds in my head, I've mapped out an entire anime where they are spies who have to go undercover at a rock school.
Yeah!
So let's work on that later.
Also, they're definitely...
Copyright.
Also, they're definitely being styled to emulate the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo.
You gotta love that.
Yeah, you gotta love that. In, like, every single one of their TikToks, there is at least one comment towards the top that's, OMG, IRL Hex Girls. Also, their hair has been very specifically coordinated so that every TikTok has a comment that's like, oh my god, your hair totally said by rights. And they are supporting these comments and encouraging them.
They were.
Now they do not support any comments at all.
Now let's talk about their music.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's really bad. I feel like we are qualified to review their music because I have been playing in punk bands since I was 15, and I was once a music snob, and now I love One Direction. So I am a connoisseur of both DIY punk music and manufactured pop music.
And I went through the pop-punk phase that any homeschooler goes through. I once went to a concert for Gerard Way's solo career, and I once coached a children's band called Pop Rocks. So I feel like I'm very in the know.
Mm-hmm. And their music's bad.
Okay. The music itself is fine. Like, it's music, it's there. They aren't doing anything special with it, but it's not terrible.
It's definitely guitar heavy and very, very produced. The vibe is very early 5 Seconds of Summer. Mm-hmm. Like, it's edgy pop.
And oh boy, are they edgy.
Yeah, hold on to your pearls, because Tramp Stamps does not want you to forget ever that they are, first and foremost, edgy.
Let's analyze some of their lyrics, shall we? Mm-hmm. But first, we should say that they don't know how to write a song that doesn't feature graphic sexual descriptions and curse words.
So yeah, if you don't want to hear that, or you are a child, please don't listen to this part.
Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer.
Disclaimer, disclaimer. Let's look at the lyrics from their first release, which was called Sex With Me.
So, real strong right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. We've been hanging out for a while now. When I say hanging out, I mean fucking around.
It's good to be clear.
And not only in the bed, but on every couch. In your best friend's house. God, we're really loud.
I do have an image of it, though.
Yeah, we do get an image.
It creates a very good image.
So why you telling all your friends I'm psycho? Like, you think they don't know how much we bone? Maybe if that was a line. Maybe if I told them that you cry in bed, you'd have a little respect for the pussy you get.
And that's where it takes a turn.
Calling me clingy, you say I'm the worst, but whenever we fuck, you always come first. When we went all night, you didn't complain when you were having sex with me.
Which does feel counterintuitive.
And then we get to the bridge.
Like, I don't know why she's complaining so much about how he isn't good at lasting at sex, because they're doing it all the time.
Yeah, they're doing it all the time.
On all the couches, all night long.
You would think that she would have come at least once in there. So
sometimes you gotta be responsible for your own damn self.
So this brings us to the bridge, where we really get some insight into their creative minds. Because they wrote a line, and they're so proud of it, they're gonna make you listen to it.
Again.
Again and again and again. The line is, maybe if I told them that you cry in bed, you'd have a little respect. Yeah, maybe if I told them that you cry in bed, you'd have a little respect for the pussy you get. Parentheses, for the pussy you get. They are so very proud of that line that it has been featured in many of their TikToks. They love that line so much.
And I feel like that is not the man's biggest issue. Mm-hmm. Like, if he's crying, I don't think it's because of that. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot going on in this world that they've created. Like, a little bit I want to map it out, like I want to map out the Taylor Swift high school universe. But it's just the Tramp Stamp sex universe, and I therapize all the men. So that was the first song they released. And already we're seeing some key points for Tramp Stamp songs, namely, complaining about having sex with men, bragging about having sex with men, every swear word they've ever learned on the playground at recess, and very explicit descriptions of sex with no euphemisms or emotions.
Yeah, they write songs very literally. It is very much a, I was in this place with this person and this happened.
In this position.
It is never poetic or eloquent.
We're about to get to a little more of an emotional song.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the most emotional song they've released. Let's take a look at their second release, which includes my favorite line of theirs.
Just a Tumblr girl and a skater boy taking on the world, stuck in Illinois.
Which I think is the greatest line they've written. It makes me laugh so much.
It's really
Just
difficult.
a Tumblr girl and a skater boy taking on the world, stuck in Illinois.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I have not stopped thinking about it since I first heard it.
It's so good. And the thing is that saying Tumblr Girl very specifically, it's helping us create a timeline for this song, so that's very helpful. We'd skip class, piss off our teachers, get high, hook up behind the bleachers. You broke my heart when we were seniors. You love this song.
Like, what if actually they're amazing? Tramp Stamps might slap. Cancel the whole video for Tramp Stamps stands now.
Don't be so sure, because our next line is, another day woke up hungover, because I can't seem to date men sober. Which, again, is opening up a lot in the universe. This is my favorite music video of theirs, because aesthetically it's all over the place. Like, it's 2014, but it's 2020, but it's 2021, but it's 2016.
But also it's like 2005.
Yes, it's also that, because we do not know when these women were in high school.
We do not know.
And their latest release, the song that they had to remove from TikTok because so many people use the audio to make fun of them, I'd Rather Die.
There's a whole lot to unpack here. Verse 1. I can't remember the last time I slept with someone I actually liked, and he went down on me. I can't recall a memory of someone driving home and not asking for a blowjob. Ew.
Okay, we're abandoning rhyme scheme to make that really important point. A thing, you know, I'm a poetry major, and when there's something with form, where you're following a strict set of meter and rhymes, when you break that form, it's because you have something extremely specific and important to say that you need to hit hard. And for them, it was blowjobs.
It really did hit hard, though.
It did, it stays with you.
Chorus. I'd rather die than hook up with another straight white guy. I'd rather die than fake it like I'm having a good time. I'd rather die than spend the night with another Ryan or Matthew or John. Yeah, I'd rather die. Die, 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 die. We're over and I. So there's a lot going on here.
I love it when they list the men's names.
Because of this song, they've been accused of fetishizing men of color.
Because you know they do not enjoy bisexual men at all. So you know that's not who they're going after.
I am not the person to speak on this. There are a lot of other creators on TikTok who have spoken about this. If you go onto the Tramp Stamps tag, you can find a lot of people talking about it.
I highly recommend doing that anyway.
They have addressed this recently in a TikTok, and they said, yeah, it wasn't great. They said that, you know, they weren't trying to fetishize anybody.
That's not what they did, because it's not what they were trying to do, because they realize that they're white, but, you know, it's a song about men being bad. One of them's married to a straight white man. I would love to know how he feels. Can we get his number? Can we do fondue for two?
Yeah, I want to do fondue for two with Paige Blue's husband, Mr. Blue.
Fondue for blue.
Fondue for blue! Verse 2. I don't know how you think we're gonna fuck when you can't get it up.
So again, a lot of problems to address.
I'm sick of hearing it's the alcohol. And when you're finally in the mood, it lasts like 1 or 2 seconds and then you're done and want a spoon. So, if somebody doesn't want to have sex with you, maybe don't pressure them to have sex with you, and shame them for not wanting to have sex with you.
I don't think that's a systemic act of violence against women.
Men not wanting to have sex with them.
Yeah, also very much a man wanting to cuddle at any point feels like a really weird thing to make fun of in this kind of song, because this kind of song is normally like, and then I slept with him, and then he left immediately.
Instead, this is like, I slept with him and he wanted to cuddle with me?
Disgusting. I'm gonna complain about them. Don't worry, I am having sex with them. It's not a gay thing.
Bridge. I'm just saying, it's not fair to leave me hanging like this. I'm just saying, it's not fair to leave me hanging like this. Again...
Maybe it's written directly to the husband. Like, it's a very passive-aggressive way to try to get him to...
There's a lot happening and none of it's great. I hate their songs because they make me want to defend men. I don't like men! I'm a lesbian! But somebody's gotta stick up for them when they're being slandered like this. I feel offended on their behalf, and for that I can never forgive this band.
Real feminism is about giving men a fair and equal chance to disappoint you. The priorities of these songs are just so out of whack and it's so weird. Because I could see how you could make it work, but it's just so clearly written to appeal to their specific audience, and not because they have any of these actual feelings, they're just identifying feelings they think will get a response, and to be fair, they're getting a bit of a response from people who do feel these feelings and don't know that other bands have felt these feelings, but better.
Yeah, many other bands have done similar kinds of music to this with similar content, but they've done it much better than Tramp Stamps has.
Structurally, lyrically, vocally.
And these lyrics are only made more charming by the choices the singer made in her performance.
They were choices.
I have listened to Miss Mano's solo work. I know that she can sing. I know that her voice does not naturally sound like this. I can't tell if she's trying to make her voice sound like Hayley Williams or somebody, but she's doing this very throaty, deep voice that sounds super strange to me, and it makes my throat hurt just listening to it. She's also singing all of the vowels like that "welcome to my kitchen" vine, and she's also whining a lot, so that adds to it, along with the over-the-top auto-tune that they put on every song. Listening to their cover of Say It Ain't So literally hurts my ears because the auto-tune is so horrific. Like, it's painful.
Bad to listen to and to hear.
Bad for the ears.
Their songs are so intensely formulaic that an AI probably could write one. And while we don't have access to an AI, Chloe's parents did leave us home alone this weekend. So we wrote one.
Look out, Tramp Stamps, because we're coming for your brand. Without further ado, here's the latest Misandrous single from our new band, Sluts with a Z. It's called Mouse Pussy.
Yeah!
Saw a man the other day, he was out there on the street. It reminded me of all the times men have been mean to me. Heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. I heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. He's a fucking pussy like a mouse every time. He's a fucking pussy, but he won't eat mine. Heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. I heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. Talk about all the times the men have been rude. They've been rude to me and they've been rude to you.
One time a guy at the drive-thru gave me the wrong amount of ice in my drink. One time I had to sit next to a man on an airplane. A man will just talk to you. Some men are tall. One time a man looked at me and honestly, I wasn't a fan.
I heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. I heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. I heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you. I heard that men eat mice, I haven't seen it, but it's true. A man would eat a mouse, he'd eat it right in front of you.
I'm so glad that our foremothers, Tramp Stamps, invented the concept of Riot Girl music and paved the way for us.
Yeah, on their website and in every description of the band on every streaming site, Miss Marissa Mano is quoted as saying, "All our songs start with us going on rants about stuff that pisses us off. shit we wish were different, stories that have happened to us involving fucked up guys.
And Caroline went on to add, "It's the kind of stuff that women talk about all the time with their friends, but no one's ever put it to this type of music before. No one's ever done it! They're the first!" And it's not that surprising that they think this, considering that when they list their favorite girl punk inspirations, they list Girl in Red and Halsey.
Parentheses. These are not punk girls. We like these girls.
Yeah, I love these girls.
They're fun. This is not the correct genre, and if they are inspiring punk songs, I truly don't know how that's happening.
It's just another layer on the weirdness that is Tramp Stamps. While researching, I watched every TikTok on Miss Marissa Maino's TikTok account. I don't hate many people. I don't like to have hatred in my heart or spend time hating people. I don't like her. I don't like her.
No disclaimer.
Yeah, no disclaimer, because this is my personal feelings. It's not slander to say I don't like her. Her vibe feels very, like, Bella Thorne, Tana Mojo kind of vibes. A lot of her TikToks are just about how she just wants to go viral and get a lot of money. Hashtag girl boss. And like, yeah, babe, I know. I can tell by your whole deal. There's some lesbophobia in, like, when straight women are like, man, men are so annoying. I wish I could just be a lesbian and then I wouldn't have to deal with it, because it's like, okay, there are still many issues that come with being a lesbian and many things that you have to face that are much worse than men being bad at sex sometimes. So that's a whole thing. And when people started accusing them of that, instead of taking responsibility for that and going, oh yes, we, a band that is mostly comprised of straight women, should be more mindful of that because it's the subject of all of our songs.
And instead of even trying to offer an explanation of their side of it, which would have been probably wrong,
but it would have been interesting.
It would have been a take.
Instead, they made a TikTok where Marissa Maino just goes, I'm gay! As if that excludes them from any of this. We know that she likes men, so I'm going to assume that she's bisexual. She has not specifically said how she identifies in her sexuality, but I feel like it's safe to assume because she talks
the men thing is for sure true.
Yeah, she talks constantly about how she dates men and hooks up with men and has sex with men and fucks men and talks about them all the time.
Okay,
so
like
we know that.
I think that if she was gay and wrote a lot of songs about men she hooked up with before realizing this, that would be really good.
Yeah,
that would be an
very
angle
good.
for sure.
Yeah, I'd be into that. That does not seem to be the case.
It's not the case, no.
I'm not saying she's not attracted to women. She said she's gay. We will take that as her being bisexual. However, being bisexual does not exclude you from being lesbophobic, in the same way that a lesbian can be biphobic.
We can all be mean to each other.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. There are still some problematic things with that. Also, a lot of the things that they do are, like, specifically shaming men for doing things that don't fall into, like, categories of like masculinity.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like going, like, shaming someone for wanting to cuddle after sex or crying during sex. These are, like, they're shaming men for being sensitive, which is not the direction we'd want to take usually.
And that's definitely getting mixed in with, well, he's not being nice to me in bed, he is not also doing things for me, which, like, yes, okay, that is a complaint that you can have, but the fact that you're linking it then with also he cries is like, okay, so you've categorized everything that a man does in this very specific way just to make fun of.
A very specific instance of this is
God.
Marissa Maino, on multiple occasions in public videos, she talks a lot about how the worst hookup experience she has ever had was when she went to hook up with a guy and he took his pants off and was wearing women's underwear, and how she thinks that's so gross and weird and needs to publicly shame this man for that. And, like,
I feel like we do need to specify that it doesn't sound like it was anything salacious.
yeah, we keep picturing just Target multi-pack underwear that he's wearing.
Like, I feel like he didn't do it for the date.
Yeah.
The way that this is set up does not make it seem like he was doing it for her.
Yeah, it seems like this is something that he enjoys for himself, and I think that's good. Fun for him. I like that he is taking power in whatever makes him feel confident and good. But she does not like that.
So we're kind of getting into the list of reasons why the straight white men thing is definitely fetishizing men of color, because
she doesn't like when men aren't cishet in every way and don't present in a traditional manly way.
Yeah, I think if a bi man was in a room with her, he'd feel it and be repelled.
Another very charming thing about Miss Marissa Mano is she's racist. I buried the lead. There are multiple screenshots going around from her Twitter,
which is now private,
where she was using the N-word. Also, I haven't seen any specific proof of this, so, like, taken with a grain of salt. I've seen a lot of people say that she's a Trump supporter. Who knows? It's all hearsay.
Her Twitter account is now private, and they have not been posting on the band Twitter, and they had a Tumblr blog so briefly and so bright.
Also, according to the Stan Twitter account for
which,
their band,
honestly, go follow that. They've got all the information.
Yeah, they have all the information. According to them, they were doctored screenshots, but also that Twitter account is theorized to be a sock puppet account of a member of the band, because there was another screenshot going around of a deleted tweet where someone had asked them, like, where's the band located? And they responded, we're located in Nashville. This tweet has been deleted. They are located in Nashville. So somebody messed up.
By the way, sounds like a teacher talking about me in a public space. And just like, they, and it's like, okay, too late, though.
Lots of things there happening. Also, a weird thing with the band is that they all constantly talk about how much weed they smoke and how they're just stoned 24/7 and how they take so many shots of vodka with no chasers.
Kara will drink anything but vodka.
So sorry. I didn't know her drink of choice. And how they can get so drunk without even blacking out.
And in all of their videos where they're doing an interview, it's like they have to raise the can, show the logo. I don't know how to feel about connecting that with the fact that they are also pretending to be part of a much younger scene. Drinking isn't cool.
Drinking isn't cool. Don't do it.
And smoking ruins your lungs, so take edibles.
It feels like they are doing it very, like, performatively because they think that that will sound cool and punk, and many people have pointed out that alcoholism is not punk.
Their upcoming EP is called We Got Drunk and Wrote an EP, so there's that information.
No one can figure out their exact ages also.
That's so good.
Paige has been married for 7 years to a straight white man.
The Stan Twitter also claims that this is doctored,
even though it is on her public Instagram a photo of their wedding, and it says, we've been married for 7 years.
And then there's other pictures that have her husband in them because they're married. Imagine how he feels with teens on the internet being like, well, no, they made him up. Someone made him up to make fun of this band. It's like, imagine being that man.
So we're assuming that she's like 29. I think that's like the estimation. Caroline, I believe, is like 24 or 25, somewhere around there. And I cannot find a single thing that says the age of Marissa Mano. Also, I'm not trying to gatekeep the music for older people at all.
If they fully said, we are in our late 20s, here's our music, I would love it.
Yeah, and if they just said, we're gonna make some cool, punky, alternative music that has subject matters that are relevant to our current lives, that would be totally cool and good. It's weird that they are, like, mentioning high school and stuff in it.
Mixing it with the sheer amount of drug and alcohol mentions and just the graphic sexual descriptions.
Because of, like, how they're styled and, like, the style of music and everything, it feels like they are appealing to teenagers. But then the subjects and, like, the content of the songs are so, like, vulgar and, like, graphic.
But the quality of them isn't high enough to offer to adults.
Yeah, it's just very weird.
They made it for us.
Yeah, they made it for us, but we don't want it. Oh, the tampons should be free thing. They named their own, like, record label, tampons should be free, and so that's, like, what they've been releasing music under.
And that's their political statement. And we could not figure out why that feels so weird. It's
like,
true.
Yeah, they should be free.
It's true.
It's weird to have that be, like, your one and only, like, main political statement, because, like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
It's very baby's first feminism.
Yeah, okay, here's my favorite thing about them. Obviously, we are in a pandemic, and so there's a lot of filming restrictions about having extras in things like shitty music videos. And this is how they chose to get around the COVID filming restrictions for the high school scenes, which, again, were completely unnecessary. Like, I love it from an artistic standpoint. I think it would be so funny if they had organically decided to do this, and I would love that music video if they did not make this decision purely because they weren't allowed to invite people onto set or those people might die. God, imagine dying so that you could be in a Tramp Stamps video.
I would. That's the stance I'm taking now. I still have not watched all of the music video for Sex With Me because it flashes so bad and, like, it hurts.
Yeah, they put a warning at the front.
Honestly,
just don't post it if it's that much, because I feel dead.
The power of Tramp Stamps is that you have to be in pain to listen to them or watch their videos. And that's the most punk thing of all. So Tramp Stamps, hit us up if you want to collab on your first album. Just hit up Sluts with a Z. We can be your first featured artist.
Yeah, our contact information is in the bio. With our social media.
Hit me up if you want the chords to Mouse Pussy. I think you guys could do a really good cover of that for your TikTok.
Okay, bedtime.
Okay, bedtime baby! Okay, so breaking news. So we're in the middle of editing right now, and there's an update.
It is incredible that this is a story so breaking news. That oh my god. Okay, so 3 hours ago, while we were filming, Tramp Stamps released a statement, which I will read. It is long. There are swear words. Hi fuckers, Tramp Stamps here.
Which is an iconic opening.
The misinformation and lies that feed this cancel culture are so fucking toxic. We are
so toxic.
We are 3 women who have been writing and producing music for many years, busting our asses in the music career while building our own personal careers. I don't doubt this.
Yeah, we know this.
We all crossed paths and wrote together as a band for the first time in February 2020. I also don't doubt that.
We know this.
And our unfiltered conversations together led to the songs you are all so pressed about right now. As soon as we started sending these songs around, just about every label A&R was wanting us to sign with them.
I'm sure they were begging for these songs.
Which is right about the time that I figured out that this statement was not gonna be good and was not gonna make me feel bad for saying any of the things I already said.
Oh, I feel so validated.
I was worried for a minute that they were gonna be like, here are our childhood best friend pictures. But we decided to do something different.
So different.
We chose not to sign with a major label so we could have full creative control. We made our own label called Make Tampons Free, which is distributed through AWOL, which literally stands for Artists Without a Label. We own Make Tampons Free and no one else. So fuck off on all of that. I know you own it, yeah. We wrote these songs 100% between the band, Caro, Marissa, and Paige. As songwriters, we pull from the past and present experiences between the three of us. Caro and Paige produced the songs, Paige mixed them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that all feels true.
Yeah.
I feel like nothing we said goes against that. Fuck you if you are so fucking sexist that you cannot believe this band was created and built from the ground up by 3 women. Industry plant? The irony is fucking outstanding.
No, the reason we think you're from the industry is because it's so bad. We don't think that you couldn't have made it. We think that it's too bad for it to have been created organically.
Yeah, oh my god. I don't think they're specifically an industry plant in the way that people are saying. I think they are a fake manufactured band made for money, regardless of who had the idea.
Yeah. I don't care if they're industry plants or not. I think they're shitty and we shouldn't support them or make them more famous than they already are right now.
So I'm sorry about this video.
Sorry about this video, but like...
we want to be internet famous.
I just have a lot of thoughts that I need to get out about them.
Caro and Marissa are both signed to Prescription Songs.
This we know.
Prescription Songs is a publishing company, not a label. Publishing companies sign writers and producers, give them an advance so they can live, and help set up sessions / get songs placed with other artists / TV shows / etc. Which...
Sure, fine, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know that much about signing with a label, but... or versus a publishing company, but like...
Yeah, my issue with them isn't them being signed to a label. My issue is that this company that they're working with is headed by an abuser, a known abuser that everybody knows is an abuser, and they've still chosen to work with this company.
Yeah, regardless of the services that company provides...
It's shitty and
it's a bad company.
Yeah.
Paige is signed as a writer and producer to Downtown Music Publishing and Pray for My Haters Publishing, which is not her own artist development company. LOL, that was funny though, so I guess people have been saying that she has her own. Okay. It's flattering that you think our graphics are so good that we couldn't possibly do it without a major label.
Actually, I think the graphics aren't that good. I'm not mad at the graphic designer. A lot of their like logos and stuff, very much just Googled punk font and then grabbed like Sex Pistols Ransom Note font and just used that. And then a lot of the like heart and safety pin stuff very much feels like a 5 Seconds of Summer Sounds Good Feels Good merch ripoff, because they did have like that exact same logo, but like whatever, it's fine. I don't care about that that much.
And that's all going to be explained by the fact that it's shout out to our 21-year-old freelance graphic designer that Marissa met in college. We average out to 21.
Yeah, and I
get it.
Yeah, I think a 21-year-old doing these graphics is fine and good.
Perfect.
Yeah. I have no issues with the graphics.
Yeah, we fucking love her and agree that she's extremely talented. She's been credited on our posts from the beginning. I hope that she goes on to do more and better things. Rolling Stone, Newsweek, The Verge, Daily Dot, shame on all of you. Let's start with you, Rolling Stone. Cute queer clickbait headline. We'd assume a reputable news outlet such as yourself, which, okay, would wait to get such a comment from the band before releasing such a mangled, trash, infactual article. They've hyphenated infactual because I know that Notes tells you it's misspelled, but it isn't, so they just believed it. This is the title in question. I understand how some guy who had to write that very quickly, or some woman,
saw a TikTok of them going, "I'm gay," and went, okay.
Yeah,
and used that.
And took a look at the culture and went, yeah, that's that gay stuff, right? Like, I understand.
Which also, on a quick note, is part of what feels kind of insidious about them, because there is very much a culture around like alternative style and colored hair, which traditionally has meant like a freedom of expression and has meant like it has been a signifier of a safe space for people. And so lately there's been a lot of kind of debate around like that becoming a very mainstream popular style, because now you can't just look at someone on the street and like see them dressed like that and go, oh, okay, a very accepting person who I can be open with. Now
you can't do same hat with people anymore.
Yeah.
I've got some thoughts on that, which is like the thing of like, well, cis people also need to put their pronouns in their bio. It's like on that level, but it feels weird that they're specifically marketing themselves to a group that is still very known for this. So, queer punk band, This band is not a queer band. We are a band that has a queer member. I'm deeply sorry to every other bisexual person watching this, because I died reading this. Let me just get through it. Lesbian? In a TikTok, Marissa responded saying she was gay. It's fucked up that she is being forced to clarify this, but she will quite literally sleep with anyone. That includes all and any pronouns/identifications. No one asked that.
No one asked that.
No one asked that. They asked, are you gay? And I feel like maybe if your only response to are you gay is, well, here's what I like sexually. We're getting into some weird territory.
Yeah. Just say you're bi. It's fine.
Yeah, just...
If she had just said, oh, I'm bisexual, this would not have been an issue at all at any point.
I don't even need her to have said the word. I just need her to say, no, I like women too. I just need anything that doesn't sound like it's...
Hearts not parts.
Yeah, and like her hooking up with people at parties so people go, it's weird.
It's not great.
Yeah. Queer identity and a punk aesthetic for their own career gains? Fuck you, Rolling Stone. Now, the interesting thing about this is that they've very cleverly put the punk aesthetic for their own career gains in with the fuck you, because we're supposed to say fuck you, Rolling Stone, for saying all of that, but they are co-opting a punk aesthetic.
That is what's happening.
I see you. Now let's talk about the tweets. Marissa tweeted out language when she was 15 that she is deeply ashamed of. You can't add on the preposition. This language is not true to the person she is today, nor does she or the band condone that language. In 8 years, people grow up and change. Which, first of all, makes her 23.
Okay.
And second of all, I did not know that she was 15.
Yeah, I also did not know that. We did not have the context for that, so we will retract our statement that she's racist. I don't know that she's not racist, but I'm not gonna base her character off of something she said when she was 15.
Yeah, I don't think that we can do that. I do think that the discussion around that has been very odd. Shall we move on to ageism? Shall we move on to ageism? Our oldest member is 29 years old. Some of you think she has a kid, too.
Also, I have never assumed she had a child, but I can kind of get where people were coming from there, and I can see the process of thought, because they've posted a few, like, TikToks and Instagrams or whatever, pictures of Paige where they wrote, like, our drum mommy, or, like, drum mommy and stuff, so I could see people seeing that and just making an assumption that she's a mom.
Yeah, like, I've definitely called people that and have been called things like that. Oh, a moment of silence.
Daddy Noah.
Moment of silence. But I understand how no one is wrong in this situation.
I don't think people, like, I'm assuming that people weren't just going, oh, she's old and married, she must be a mother. I think there was probably something leading them to that conclusion.
And you've all pointed out the obvious fact that she's married. We're not mad she's married.
Yeah, I don't care. It's very funny that she's married to a straight white man.
That's the only funny part. That, connecting to the lyric, I don't care that she's married.
Yeah, other than that, I don't care.
She doesn't...
I'm glad she found love.
Yeah. She doesn't have a baby, but the idea that a female being 29 and having a family could negate her ability to be a relevant creator is absolutely embarrassing. Again, we weren't saying that being married means she should stop making music.
Yeah.
We said that being married to a white man means she probably shouldn't make music about hating white men. These are very different concepts. Oh my god.
Tramp stamps are the gift that keeps on giving.
I can't stop thinking about people under 30 calling ageism on it. And they mean you're discriminating because I'm too old.
Yeah.
That's insane. 20s, I think, is still the time where you get passed over for being too young for a lot of things. And I don't think that late 20s is at all unusual for music.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they'd have no issue if they weren't purposefully trying to skew young. Men create music until they're 900 years old and have families, and nobody gives a shit about them. Okay. Yeah. This bit is in italics. We've been quiet for a few days, but not anymore. You have gone to the ends of the fucking earth to shit on us, have told us to kill ourselves, and have used conspiracy theories on TikTok as a trend to get more views on your own videos.
Isn't Marissa a conspiracy theorist?
In an interview, she said that she has always been a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I do not know how seriously to take that as to what level of conspiracy, but those are the words that she said. Fuck you. You don't like our music? Don't fucking listen to it. We're not going anywhere, so that's gonna be really funny in a few weeks.
Oh, it's gonna be so funny in a few weeks.
Comments are back on, so get on that.
Yeah, get on that right now.
Yeah, drop links to our video, please. Have fun, and don't forget to water your plants, and then it's a little potted plant and the smile emoji.
So overall, I don't care if they're industry plants or not. Their music sucks. They suck.
There's someone anonymously said to a blog that someone they know knows the publishing company and says that the three of them had the idea to form a band and then went to the label and was like, hey, we are going to market ourselves as this punk band, and they said that sounds great. So I don't care what's happening. I care about the element of fakeness to the whole thing. The lying is fascinating. It's horrible sounding music.
It's really bad music. If we haven't finished it by the time that we post this, we will put a link in the comments to a playlist of female musicians that you should listen to instead of Tramp Stamps. If this is the kind of thing you want to listen to, which you should listen to it, but not them.
I don't feel like I need to take back anything I said in the other part of the video. I would like to specify that I would make fun of them if they were men. Probably a bit more.
I think probably they wouldn't be getting this insane of a public backlash if they were men, and like that aspect of it.
Yeah, the hate is really heavy because it's women.
But I would make fun of them either way.
Yeah, I don't think that it's good. Also in the article that I read about Marissa's Marilyn Monroe song, she said that her favorite song of all time is Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, which, to be fair, is the second best song of all time.
Yeah, it slaps really hard.
Ask me what the first is.
What's the first?
Darren Criss, Teenage Dream. Okay, bedtime.
Okay, bye.